Republican Representative Ralph Norman completely embarrassed himself during an exchange with three women during a hearing on abortion. Take a look.
You agree with infanticide?
Well, I think you're using inflammatory language to basically describe a situation that does not happen. We don't have infanticide happening. Doctors would not do that, and neither would folks who have carried pregnancy.
Okay, would a healthy child, do you agree if a healthy child is born, that it's that woman's right to decide if it lives or dies?
What I think is, based on your question, you have a very low opinion of pregnant people. Because if you think that anybody would carry...
Answer the question.
Excuse me.
Answer the question.
I'm answering it. Do you
No,
want
you're not.
You want
I
to
will
answer,
take it
or
that
you
you
want to
agree.
keep talking over witnesses? What I'm telling you is nobody would carry a pregnancy and then decide on a Monday because they are bored that they want to have an abortion. That's ridiculous. And it's inflammatory. What you're saying, you're talking about families who are in tough situations where folks have been excited about carrying a pregnancy. Most of the abortions that happen later in pregnancy are really tragedies where it's really a disappointment for everyone involved.
But you agree with, I take it with all those words, you do agree with basically murdering a child after they're born.
I take it with all those words that I didn't listen to a damn thing that you said, and I'm just going to go on with my talking points that were written for me by somebody else, because I'm not smart enough to do anything but read off a card. I'm Ralph Norman. Fuck off. Look, let me just give some credit here. Democratic Representative Renita Shannon, who pushed back on this. She's awesome. But how do you answer that question, right? Now, she did the best she could. I think she did a great job because it was an obvious gotcha question. They're not having conversations in good faith. And you literally say, oh, you believe in infanticide, killing babies after they're born. No, she doesn't. That would be literal murder. And we already have laws against that. That is not happening. That is not actually a real thing. But what he was doing, Norman was looking for a soundbite. And when he didn't get it, he decided, I'm going to say this thing anyway, because I didn't listen to a damn thing that woman said. I already have my talking points. And I'm going to continue to repeat them, even though they're verifiably false and, as she pointed out, inflammatory. Again, there was more. Okay, there's more to this. It gets worse.
How you just characterize the representative's statement is extremely inflammatory and the type of thing that it's dangerous.
And what
you guys have been talking today about the threats against crisis pregnancy centers, which I assume are serious and are terrible. The threats that people who work on abortion access take every single day.
I'm assuming that you're for infanticide. I would also say that her language of health.
Madam Chair,
Okay.
gentleman's time.
Congressman, ask the
He's
question.
reclaiming his time.
It's funny, as soon as she makes a good point that counteracts his absolute bullshit and how this is actually endangering people, all the rhetoric about murdering babies after they're born, which just doesn't happen, it's just priming people for violence against, doctors who perform abortions, medically necessary. He doesn't want to hear it, though. Doesn't want to hear it at all. No, he filibustered. Now, look, these doctors that perform abortions, again, you heard about probably have heard about the 10-year-old who had to go to cross the state lines to be able to get an abortion to get rid of a rapist's baby, okay? Now the Republicans are looking into that doctor in Indiana. That's absolutely insane. Insane. But these people have also been targeted by right-wing zealots, right-wing terrorists for decades. It's disgusting. And then, she tries to push back, and I think that's great. He talks over her, shuts her down, and then uses his power as a congressman to make sure that she cannot speak. It's disgusting, right? Also, he can say false and stupid talking points that he can use for a goddamn campaign ad when he runs for re-election. And that's it. Let me be clear. He and the others, they don't care about babies. They don't care about children. He's a member of a party that does not believe in any kind of welfare. He doesn't believe in helping the poor, doesn't believe in helping the needy, doesn't believe in gun control. So those kids, can be shot up in a school by a madman who is able to legally get a gun very easily and doesn't care about making sure the planet is livable for the babies. So please, spare me, Republicans. Spare me, right-wingers. You want to argue that you're small government? Really? You want to argue that you're pro-life? No, these people are not pro-life. They're pro-control. And you can see that when he refuses to let these women speak because they're not saying exactly what he wants them to say. So he can get his little soundbite. Now, I love these women. They're fierce advocates. And I'm sorry that they had to deal with idiots like, Louis Gohmert and Ralph Norman. I'm embarrassed that we have members of Congress in our country that think that they know better than science and fact and reality and think that they can talk over people who will never, like Ralph Norman will never have the experience of of getting pregnant, needing an abortion, having an ectopic pregnancy, a non-viable fetus that there will be forced to carry for term. He'll never have that experience. But millions of women out there do, and they're affected by people like Ralph Norman. And so, people like that are absolutely disgusting, and they don't belong anywhere near power.